Hello, everybody out there, and thank you for joining us once again for the Truth About Cancer Global Health News.
Yeah, we're so thankful that you joined us for another episode. I think this is 32 or
32.
something, so our 32nd episode. We're trying to be consistent to these for you because we got a lot of feedback from people that really like seeing us on the Global Health News, and we like talking to you. So, we're in the holiday season now. We just finished Thanksgiving. Christmas is coming up, and so two of my favorite holidays, by the way. So tell me, honey, what are a couple of things that you're thankful for?
Well, I can say that I'm thankful for you for joining us every other week for Global Health News.
Yeah, we're very thankful for you. Thankful for your support and the fact that you help us to share this information with your friends and family. I'm thankful for my sweet wife and my family here that we have. Our son Bryce is right over here. He's filming.
Yes,
He's behind the camera.
all four of our children.
Love our children, our three girls, and just so thankful for our health. And
most of all, I think we could say we're thankful for Jesus. We wouldn't be here
Yeah.
without him. And this is what we celebrate during the Christmas season, that he actually left heaven, came, was born, and grew up, lived the perfect life so that he could give that perfection to us and earn a place in heaven.
Mm-hmm.
So where mom and dad are, we've
Yeah.
lost 7 family members, and they're in heaven waiting.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we're thankful.
We're very thankful for that. And, Christmas time is one of my favorite times of the year. It just has a special feel.
Yes, the kiddos, they love to decorate the tree.
Yeah.
And decorate the mantles and all the fun things and the Christmas music and one of our favorite movies, It's a Wonderful Life. So in our house, it's a tradition
Yeah.
to get around the tree and decorate while It's a Wonderful Life is playing. And it's really hard because I want to sit down and watch that movie. I never get tired of that movie.
Yeah, we watch Wonderful Life all the time. It's a Christmas tradition. We watch the Gospel of John on Christmas morning.
The kids
Gospel
know
of
that
John.
music. There's a distinct music playing when they get up, and then it just plays throughout the day until we finally switch to It's a Wonderful Life and then other movies.
Yeah, and then we love to watch The Christmas Story. You'll shoot your eye out, kid. So one of the funniest
Yeah.
Christmas movies ever.
Well, the little kids are in bed. The big kids help us to get the Christmas stuff under
Yeah.
the tree, and that's the movie that's playing, and we're all laughing. the
Ho,
whole night.
ho,
So
ho,
now-
kid. Ho, ho.
So now you all feel like you were in our house for Christmas. This is the way it goes at the Bollinger house.
And then the smell of all the cooking. I love whenever
Yes.
we're doing Christmas cooking. And I love the smell when we're cooking cookies.
Yes,
Right?
the
That's-
children like the cookies, and we have so many wonderful recipes that are organic, using organic ingredients and sugar. We've got substitutes, or at least use GMO free.
Yeah,
right?
use organic sugar if you're cooking, if you want to
Mm-hmm.
use sugar. And we do. We'll use organic sugar.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of different things that you can sweeten with, but one thing you shouldn't sweeten with is what?
Aspartame.
Aspartame. Aspartame. And we're leading to this article. It's a Natural News article. Health Ranger Mike Adams, our good buddy, confirmed aspartame now linked to blood cancers according to a 22-year study conducted by researchers at Women's Hospital at Harvard University. 22-year study, blood cancer. So aspartame, we're going to give you a little quiz and see if you're familiar with some of these things about aspartame. So you want to ask them the first question, honey?
Sure. Is aspartame genetically modified?
Is aspartame GMO? Most people probably don't understand that or don't know that, but aspartame is actually genetically modified. And also aspartame, people use aspartame. It's a low-calorie sweetener, but it actually causes weight gain.
So while the consumer is taking it hoping to lose weight, they're gaining weight.
Yeah, and the reason that is because aspartame does not tell your brain to release leptin. And leptin is a hormone that tells you that you're satisfied. And so normal food, if you eat food that's real food, like our friend Dr. Joseph Mercola says, if you eat real food, it will tell your brain to release leptin, and then your body says, hey, I'm full, stop eating. Aspartame doesn't trigger that leptin release, and so you can continually eat, and actually studies are now showing it causes you to gain weight.
So what do you do at Thanksgiving when you want an extra helping? You just stop eating and don't eat it, right?
I just eat it.
That's the exception to
That's
the rule.
Thanksgiving, though. That's not normal.
Okay,
But,
Christmas too, right?
Christmas and Thanksgiving, yeah.
Okay.
It's the excuse for America to eat an extra helping when you normally wouldn't.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Enjoy your time, but make sure that you eat clean food, as clean as you can during the holidays, and you can eat clean
Absolutely.
holiday food for sure. Aspartame actually depletes serotonin in the brain. And serotonin is one of the hormones that makes you feel good, and so a lack of serotonin has been shown to be related to depression. So, and the reason is that aspartame is actually an excitotoxin. It literally excites your brain cells to death. And another very popular excitotoxin is MSG, monosodium glutamate. Also excites your brain cells to death. Stay away from both of them. Here's something that's interesting too. The combination of 40% aspartic acid, 50% phenylalanine, and 10% methanol converts in your body to formaldehyde. What's formaldehyde? It's embalming fluid. That's what they pump into people once they're dead.
Well,
not something you probably want to be taking while you're alive.
there's a lot of reasons not to consume that.
Lots of reasons. And then the final reason, now it's not only linked to brain cancer, prostate cancer, breast cancer. Now this 22-year Harvard study linking it to blood cancers.
And so we've known for a while. Right?
We've known for a while.
They don't publicize it.
Yeah,
you have to dig to find
aspartame
it.
was originally, created in a lab in the late 60s, and by the mid 70s, they knew it was causing cancer.
Yeah.
They knew it was causing holes in the brains of the rats they tested it on. So best alternative for aspartame, if you want to use a low-calorie sweetener, we use stevia. But if you're not worried about, the holidays, if you want to have something healthy, raw honey, monk fruit's a low-calorie sweetener. There's a lot of choices. Organic sugar.
Grade B maple syrup.
Yeah. You know what? One of my favorite sweets is actually donuts. And I love, we can cook healthy donuts with coconut oil and, just fry them up in a pan.
Pan.
Speaking of pan.
Hey, that reminds me.
What?
Hashtag PanRan.
Pan.
Check it.
Hashtag
Check it on
pan.
Twitter,
So, speaking
Facebook,
of pan,
hashtag PanRan.
Senator Pan. Are you familiar with Dickie Pan? Sorry.
What?
Dr. Richard Pan. We call him Dickie Pan, but Dr. Richard Pan is a senator from District 6 in California. He was the one he and Allen were the ones behind Senate Bill 277 in California, which made vaccines mandatory for school children and removed all exemptions except for the medical exemption, which is now dwindling. But Senator Pan was recently
up for re-election.
He's an incumbent up for re-election, and we were pushing hard to get our followers to communicate with people in his district and let them know that they did have a choice. There was a man named Eric Frame who's not a Republican. Pan's a Democrat. The Republicans didn't even put anybody forward against him, and he's an independent. And he was running on one of his platforms was vaccine freedom.
Yes.
And this was so important for people to try to unseat Pan.
Yes.
To get him out of office, because
so that they could have freedom once again to choose
freedom.
What they wanted for their children and not have to vaccinate them when they would take their child to the public schools. And so how did that turn out?
Unfortunately, Pan won. He won like 68% of the vote.
we
I
were
think
so
Frame
sad,
got 32%, but I think he got 68 and 32, but it doesn't matter. Frame got
I knew there was
crushed.
an 8 in there. See, there was
There
an
was
8
an
in there.
8, but sadly, Frame got crushed because
Yeah, it was really sad.
He's
an
an
unknown.
independent. He doesn't have much money. We supported him financially too.
We did.
We made a contribution
Put
to
your
his
money where your mouth is, right?
We did. We made a contribution to his
to try to help the people in California and the people in America.
to his campaign, and it didn't work. But that's okay. We got to keep doing that.
Yeah.
And this is not political. It's
about freedom and safety and life. I mean, we should have the right to choose the medical treatments that we choose, whether it's conventional treatments or we call them advanced. They're not alternative. They've been around since the beginning of time. The advanced treatments that you want to use for your bodies and those of your loved ones, you should have the right to choose that.
Yeah.
And right now there's medical tyranny, and right now in California with the vaccines, medical tyranny is prevailing. And so we're fighting against that. And we actually we wrote an article and sent it out to our entire email list. A lot of you have subscribed. If you haven't yet, subscribe to our emails. We're trying to send you the best cutting edge information that we can, and when things like this happen, we want you to know.
Yeah.
So we did send a very informative article with our good friend Robert Kennedy Jr.
Bobby Kennedy endorsed Eric Frame. We sent out an email urging people to go unseat Pan. It was not a political email. It's about medical freedom. We had like 2,000 people on our list unsubscribed, and to those people, you know what? If you can't stand up for your right for medical freedom and health freedom in this country, you're a lost cause. This is the most important thing, because Senator Pan is not answering to you. Senator Pan and the people behind these laws, these draconian vaccine laws, they're answering to the vaccine lobby. As a matter of fact, the day that this passed, or the day before Senate Bill 277 passed, there's photos of Senator Pan with a couple of lobbyists whispering in his ear, and they decided to postpone the vote because there were so many mad mothers that were out front that they thought they would have a mob. And so they postponed the vote until another day when the mothers weren't out there.
The mothers weren't there, that they could pass it without any conflict.
Democrats, they need to find out more information. What the information they have right now on vaccines is false. Senator Pan, Senator Allen, the ones that wrote SB 277, are telling lies.
The people that unsubscribed or don't quite get it, we were once probably there. We understand that those people just need to be loved on. They need to be gathered by the community that really does understand patiently and lovingly, because a lot of the people that don't get it today will get it tomorrow or next week or a year or whatever. So don't ever give up on the people that turn their back on truth today, because you don't know what tomorrow holds, but God does.
Yeah.
So keep sharing the truth and these stories that we're bringing to you. Share this episode with your friends, because we do want to wake up our friends and family. We love our family more than anything, and we would do anything. We do this for them. And we've had family members and close friends that didn't quite understand that do today.
Pan answered to the lobbyists, but he wouldn't even have the decency to answer Del Bigtree and Andy Wakefield. Those were and Polly Tommy, producers of Vax. They approached Senator Pan after the Senate Bill 277 passed a couple years ago. They approached him and they wanted to get him to discuss vaccines, which apparently he didn't want to do. So here's a little quick video of how Pan ran.
I'd like Senator Pan to sit down with me at any time on television and talk about why, when he knew we had a whistleblower at the CDC saying that this vaccine was destroying children's lives, why would he pass a law making us have to use that defective vaccine?
We don't want to be in your office.
His staff said no, he wasn't there. He was out of the office, and we looked up and we saw him in one of the rooms, and he looked right at us and he booked it. He just took a run for the door and he literally ran out the door.
Be comfortable making statements about a film we haven't seen. We just thought maybe you'd want to. Hello. Yes, we just were wanting to have a conversation with Senator. But I don't know where I'm at.
No, away from me.
We were in his office. He saw us in his office, and then he ran literally out of the back door. I ran out into the hallway. It's pretty fast, actually. I have to give, Senator Pan that. I don't know if he did track and field when he was younger, but he zipped down the hall, ran down some stairs. I think he did 2 flights of stairs in about 7 seconds. Very, very impressive. And then ran down the hall. But I mean, obviously, all we want to do is have a conversation. I mean, this is the United States of America. This is a conversation about health. We have a senior scientist at the CDC that's come forward and saying that the MMR autism vaccine studies are fraud. I think Senator Pan should talk about that, since he wants to pass bills mandating this vaccine. So I guess he doesn't want to have that conversation. He's fast. He's extremely fast.
Well, yeah, had to practice for many years.
Yeah.
You can see now, or you just saw, how the other side deals with these debates. They don't want to discuss it. Pan ran. He ran away from them.
So that's where the hashtag came from. Now
ran.
you know. Hashtag Pan ran.
And Del Bigtree was so funny in that video. He's like, he must have run track or something when he was younger, because he's really fast. So Pan got away. He didn't want to discuss it. But the reality is, medical exemptions are the only thing that's left in California for these school kids, and they're going away.
Well, they're gone.
For
now, they're gone.
They're gone. The medical exemptions.
I mean,
there's a few.
But
there's a few.
It's just as good as gone. Our good friend Dr. Sears, He was there was a family that had a child that was vaccine damaged. It was provable, and they said yes, this effect was from this vaccine, and it's best to not do any more vaccines because you could see further damage. Medical establishment out there really came down hard on him, and he was quiet for a while, but that being quiet, he was trying to cooperate, hoping to just get his freedom back to help parents, and they didn't give him all that he needed to continue. So he said, okay, my days of being quiet are over. I'm going to stand now verbally against this. So they say there's the medical exemptions, but is there?
Well, yeah, there are still medical exemptions, but it's just very hard to get the medical exemption. So yes, that is the only exemption left in California is medical.
If they allow it.
Well, they're still allowing it
By who?
In certain cases, but the LA area to reach what she calls herd immunity.
No, honey, I don't understand that if the vaccines are safe and effective and science is settled, then why do they need our children to also be vaccinated to have their vaccinated children protected?
That makes too much sense. It's too logical. You're not allowed to be logical here because what Charlene just said, if vaccines work, why do you care if somebody else is vaccinated if you're protected? The reason is they don't work. But it's interesting that she uses this false herd immunity concept, and she says that the personal belief exemption being eliminated has now increased the rates from 90 to about 95% in children. So we've reached this herd immunity. She says after that, in other words, a lot of cockroaches have met their demise. She says, I believe the only way to kill this cockroach for good is through strong, continued doses of education. Parents' suspicions about the safety of vaccinations have been fed by conspiracy theorists. That's a term they use when they've lost the argument and they want a name call.
They just, smear.
And medical crackpots whose harmful ideas, widely disseminated on the internet, have been thoroughly debunked in every reputable corner of the medical establishment. See, Patrice, that's just a lie. They haven't been thoroughly debunked. The studies are not there to show that vaccines are safe and effective. You're just saying they've been thoroughly debunked, but they haven't been. It's kind of like the way that fluoride got into the system, the water system. They said for 20 years, fluoride at 1 part per million prevents cavities. And eventually it was widely known that this was true. But there was never a single study. And there have not been studies to prove that vaccines are safe and effective.
Research for those studies.
They're not there. I dare you to send me one. But Patrice ends her article, yet the rumors and the myths persist. So we must continue to fight back with rationale, fact-based information campaigns, and personal outreach to those that remain skeptical. So, Patrice, do you mean the rational, loving type of debate that you're insinuating needs to happen from your side? Are you referring to something like what happened when the Vaxxed bus approached Dr. Paul Offit in New York City? Because we're going to take a look at that video right now.
I think they wanted to see if they could get an interview with you, Paul. Are you up for that? An interview over the Vax bus?
Who are you?
I'm just a camera guy.
No.
You're not interested?
Are you kidding me?
Well, just we could talk about differences in opinion and.
You know you can't do that here, right?
Get out of here. Get the out of here. Really, I don't want to talk to you.
All right.
All right?
I mean, I just think if you have the truth on your side, you'd be up for just having a conversation.
Out.
All right. Okay.
I need to ask who you are now.
I'm just a camera guy, like I said.
You're going to have to go do it.
All right. You have a good lunch.
So that's what the rational, loving, compassionate debate that the vaccination crowd is calling for looks like. Mm-hmm. That's amazing. And here's what many people don't know is that the guy that's in there, he says, I'm just the cameraman. And then he gets the F-bomb from Paul Offit. That man, his name is Joshua Coleman, and he's the father of Otto Coleman. And Otto Coleman was paralyzed by vaccines. So Paul Offit, who, by the way, was reported to have made $29 million personally. Children's Hospital of Philadelphia made $180 million on the sale of the Rototec vaccine for the rotavirus. Paul Offit personally made $29 million. That's what he gives you. That's the debate. That's the loving compassion that Paul Offit has for people that want to debate, like Otto Coleman, whose son was paralyzed by vaccines. That's what you get. So don't believe the vaccine propaganda from the other side. They're not compassionate. They don't want debate. As a matter of fact, the one thing they do not want is debate.
Right.
They will not debate vaccines.
Well, that's because the facts aren't on their side. I still am waiting to see those facts. We've done the research. it's very clear when you look at the ingredients and the effects it has on the body, and the case studies where kids have been vaccinated within hours or a day. Some have died, seizures, disorders, paralysis, and a plethora of other things that have happened on these vaccines, various vaccines doing different kinds of damage. Yeah. But it's proven. We've got lots of vaccine damaged kids. And then we have the other side saying, well, that's just the cost of it.
Well, no, they say the science is settled. Vaccines are safe despite all these damaged kids. The only science that's settled is that vaccines harm.
Right.
It's clear.
But they do say that that's a risk they're willing to take. There are risks. You sign a waiver.
Yeah, as long as it's your kid that gets damaged.
That's a risk we're willing to take for the good, the better good, or the higher good of the
greater
people.
Good.
And I'm not willing to give my children over onto their altar to kill them.
No, we're not. And so I know I got a little kind of heated here. I'm trying to settle down. Remember what Patrick Swayze said in Roadhouse, no matter what happens,
be nice.
Be nice. So we want to be nice. We just want you to continue to stand up for our medical rights, for our health rights, because if we don't stand up for them, we will lose them.
And
so we want to encourage you to do that this holiday season.
That's why we do what we do for our children, because they're going to grow up, they're going to have children. It's for future generations that we're doing what we're doing, and we're doing it for you so that you can live a long and happy life with your families too.
Yeah, so we hope you've learned a lot from this Global Health News episode, and please share it with your family and friends, and hopefully we'll have one more to you before Christmas Day this year.
Absolutely. So thanks for watching. We look forward to you joining us again really soon. God bless.
God bless.